Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever the hell you are in the world. I know I've got somebody over in Ireland right now, so good night. Welcome to Beyond 280. This is my little corner of the world, my little live stream corner of the world where I get to talk about Twitter users specifically, but we go beyond 280 characters and talk about specifically the people behind those 280 characters. Who are they? What do they do? Apparently they're human beings, believe it or not. That's crazy. So my concept, if you will, is that I try to show a little empathy, or show people how to have a little empathy by exposing these people to everybody. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I have an interview every Wednesday, and I talk with them, and I get to know them, and you get to know them, and the questions are deep, and they're meaningful, and they're silly, and we talk about gross stuff, and we talk about stuff that's gonna make you cry. I think I made Cy cry one time, which I think I'm doing my job when I'm doing that. And in fact, Cy says hello. And she thought, you thought you were going to escape my trolling, did you? No, I did not. I always expect it. So I'm like on the edge of my seat the entire time when I'm here. So yeah, so I'm glad that we've got people here today. Pardon me. So what is my show? So I just explained that, but it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream. Wednesdays are the big days. I miss this Wednesday. By the way, if you guys haven't had as awful a week as I've had, I don't know what's going on. It was just a terrible week. So I did not really get to stream my interview on Wednesday. So I'm a little bummed about that. But I've got one scheduled for this coming Wednesday, and then on Mondays is when I dig into some very specific topics that are trending on Twitter. And I get political. I start talking about the political aspect. So if you're not into politics or anything like that, maybe you'll skip that. Or if you want to come on and join me in the chat and troll me or disagree with me or have a nice debate. I know that Kevin and I, who said nope earlier, which I'm not sure what that means. Nope. I like it when people come and talk to me about this stuff. I want to debate. I want to have a healthy conversation, because if you don't, and you just live in bubbles, nothing ever happens, and nobody gets anywhere. And so I'm hoping, that on Mondays, we can have that discussion. So Wednesdays, again, that's my interview day. And then on what's fun about this Friday, I will tell you in just a minute. And on now you made me lose my track of thought. My Friday show is where I just kind of shoot the breeze. It's not a political show. It's not it's not an anything show. It's a basically I'm going to open up the Twitter app and we're going to go explore some trends and see what's trending on Twitter in the United States today. And maybe laugh, maybe, make some fun of some people. Dr. Elo in the house. Boy, I got a lot of Facebook people coming over here. I've been thinking about taking the approach that several other people seem to be taking and focusing on just one. I'm not liking the Facebook experience, so I'm thinking I may just go 100% YouTube. We shall see. So yeah, so there's that. So I've got a nice little group here. A lot of times on my Fun Friday shows, I don't have a lot of people, and I think that's because, well, it's Friday. People have lives. Apparently, none of you guys have lives. That I control with the trolls. Yes, I can. So yeah, so let's have some fun. Let's do some chit chatting. Let's talk and have some and be goofballs and the whole 9 yards. Hey, so Dr. Elo is in the house. I'm very happy to see you, Doc. And side tell this is I'm sure this is directed at Elo. Wherever you go, I shall follow. Isn't that a song? Pretty sure that's a song. So let's get started. Before I get started, a couple of things I wanna bring up. First of all, I want to talk about the Creators Guild. And if you're not a member of the Creators Guild, which so far everybody who's here is a member, I think, go to the creatorsguild.app and go download the app and join us. Join us on the Creators Guild. It is so much fun. We are worldwide, and we get together and we have a blast, and we exchange content ideas and help each other. And that's where the Creator Toolkit also exists, and it's a great way, free way, by the way, to get started if you're not creating content yet, or you would like to, or you're trying to figure out what's this all about. It's a great way to get started. Right now, a lot of us are in the middle of the 7-day challenge, where we are basically being challenged to stream 7 days in a row on very specific topics, and then present that back to the guild and let people comment on it and give us feedback. And so far, it's been really, 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 really cool. You don't have to start at any particular time. Start whenever you want, but you got to do 7 consecutive days, and that's the key. And it's really to kind of get you committed and get you moving and get your creative juices flowing, if you will. So it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. And also, before we get started, if you want to give me any feedback directly, you can email me here, beyond280, all spelled out, at gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. This is my Beyond280 account, Beyond_280, and I do follow back on that account. My personal account, I leave specifically for, well, politics, but we'll talk more about that on Monday. So, yeah. So let's get started. Let's dig into it. So, well, before I do, let's see what's going on here. So, Mr. Joseph Clough says hi. If you by the way, go check out his YouTube channel. He will knock your socks off. He feels like when he does his streams, he feels like he's talking directly to you. It is awesome. And you can find, again, I'll bring him back up. You can find his YouTube channel just by putting in his name. Trust me, you'll love it. And then Sai says, "Yep, we troll each other. Yes, we do. That's kind of what the guild's all about trolling each other. No, not kidding. I am kidding, but I'm not. So, it's true. And how the hell am I 6 behind? I was here when he went live. I don't know. Nailbender, maybe your internet just sucks. Could be. All right, well, let's get started. Let's go start looking at some Twitter trend. Ooh. So what I typically do, hey, Mr. Piazza, welcome, and Guildies. So what I typically do when I have these fun Fridays is I open up the hashtag symbol on the toolbar, and that gives you kind of the trending line, right? The For You, which I guess is based on your Twitter followers and the people that you follow. And then there's a COVID-19, which we won't go into because fuck COVID-19. The trending is where I spend quite a bit of time because there's some bizarre stuff that ends up in trending. And then I go through news a little bit. Sports can be boring, so I typically don't hang out in there. And good news, I can go to the entertainment tab today because I saw the episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier today. I saw it with my boys earlier, so I won't be spoiled if I go to that tab. And that's the kind of thing. I'd usually avoid that tab because normally I wait till my kids get home from school. They kind of had a day off today, so all good. I got to see my show, and so I will not get spoiled. Hey, Laura, welcome to the stream. Agreed. F COVID. So, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right, Kevin. So Doge is definitely trending, and I'll probably find that here in my trends. So let's get started. We're just going to flip through. I typically try to avoid political type stuff on Fridays, but I'm kind of curious, why is Trump era trending? So, refugee agencies and Democratic lawmakers condemn Joe Biden's plan to keep admissions at Donald Trump's limits. White House to cap refugees. This is boring. This is something I would bore you to death on my Monday show. Yeah, more of the same. Biden keeping so many Trump-era policies is doing for Trump what Obama did for Bush, normalizing and cementing them as normal. Not going to get political, but he's right. So let's get out of that one. Who cares about Trump, right? F Trump. Frack Trump. Frack him. Frack him straight to hell. So why is Neil trending? What is Neil about? Oh. Football. So there's a radio show personality who's from around here. His name is Michael Berry or Michael Burra, and he calls soccer football. I mean, he called it kickball, which it kind of is. I'm not that big a fan. I try to get into it from time to time, but not a fan. And yeah, it's kickball, especially when they fall down and start crying because they're big crybabies. Yeah, so the trending, the For You tab is kind of boring. Oh, the Astros. Hey, maybe the Astros will win today. By the way, I'm a Houston sports homer. So I follow all my Houston teams, even when they suck. Well, not less when they suck, but and maybe a little less when, Deshaun Watson's going through what he's going through. Doesn't look good for that dude. Here we go. Elon Musk SpaceX wins contract to develop spacecraft to land astronauts on the moon. We actually talked about this in the guild. Again, you guys need to come over to the guild, and my stuff is broken. Yay, live! So I'm going to restart my little buttons here, and let's see if this connects back up. It does. It does. Cool. So again, come over to the Creators Guild, and guess what? You will get to see fun stories like this before they happen, because we were just talking about this story in the guild. So basically, Elon Musk's SpaceX it got a contract to send people to the moon. That's freaking awesome. Hey, Scott's in a mood this week. I am I told you I had a hell of a week. But going back to Elon Musk, or SpaceX in particular, they've taken a lot of flack in the media because, they didn't land their spacecraft, it blew up and blah, 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 blah. Those are all wins. That's the thing people don't understand. Those are all wins. These spacecraft, they in order to get out there and, be safe and do this right, they're going to have to blow some shit up. Sorry. And SpaceX is extremely innovative. And they're doing things in a way that is far cheaper than the government ever could. And so this is really exciting time for space exploration. We are seeing the dawn of a new era when it comes to space exploration. And it's really, all thanks to our evil capitalist system. promised I wasn't going to get political, but I can't help it. So the SpaceX people, the only thing that kind of concerns me about all of this, so in every like sci-fi, like super far out in the future movies, so like Alien is a good example of this, or Avatar is a good example of this. Yeah, those companies that they're all evil companies. They start off with good intentions. SpaceX is going to start off with good intentions, going to Mars, going to the moon, doing all this space exploration. But at some point, they're going to want to harvest an alien life form and bring it back to Earth and turn us all into zombies. So we just have to be mindful of that. Yeah. So that's going to happen. It's going to be SpaceX, and we're all going to live in a Predator movie or an Alien movie or something with that evil corporation that's really driving all of this, or the evil corporation that's going to wipe out the entire civilization on a distant planet. Yeah, that's the way this always happens in the movies, so it must be real. Okay. If anyone becomes rich from Dogecoin, is it Doge or the doggy? I say Doge. Yeah, I'm probably way off. But if anyone becomes rich from Dogecoin and is able to quit their job, we'll all just work at Tesla for Elon Musk. Yeah, maybe. Now, this is funny. Elon Musk having to explain his Doge tweets or doggy tweets to corporate. That's really funny. There's the Tesla truck. So Elon Musk is going crazy these days. Oh yeah, the business dog. This is golden. This is golden. I like this. Oh, y'all can't see that, but yeah, this is golden. X Corporation. Elon Musk bought X.com. That is really interesting. So I need to start reading up more on it because I don't follow him too closely. I follow just kind of the tidbits, the important things that I like to, but I don't really. I know that he's got a child named like X1Z dot pound 3 or something. It's the first pronunciation. Doge. Okay. So, yeah. So the Cybertruck, which is awful. That's awful. I would never drive such a monstrosity. All right, let's see what's going on. These are Houston, Texas. I'm not going to bore you with that. Boom, see you in Vegas. What's going on in Vegas? UFC. Who here is into UFC? I sincerely want to know. Just say I am in the comments if you are into UFC or you watch UFC at all. Anybody? Bueller? Nailbender, don't you watch UFC? You seem like the kind of guy that would watch UFC. I don't know how far behind I am on the chat, but if you're a UFC guy, let me know because that is, yeah. Because I have some thoughts about it. If we have some UFC fans in here, I'd like to troll the hell out of you right now. Lots of UFC going on here. Okay, so I'll give you my take on UFC anyway. I think UFC is actually pretty cool when they're actually fighting. But anytime, so if I go to a bar like Buffalo Wild Wings or go to a sports bar or something like that, because I don't watch it at home, but if I see it out and about, I never see an actual fight. I see a lot of rolling around and hugging each other, and that is boring. If I was into gay porn, maybe I might enjoy it, but I'm not into gay porn, so I'm not interested. Now, the 3 minutes in every single match where they actually do some fighting is actually pretty cool, because it's all bare fist, bare feet, and that's kind of awesome. To be quite honest, we're Americans, we love that sort of stuff, right? But the rest of it, the other however many minutes of rolling around on the mat with each other, boring. I don't understand why UFC is a thing. I really, really don't. Okay, so let's look at the top trends here in Twitterville. So today is National Horny Day. Should I click this? All right, if you've got children in the room, have them please step out right now. It's about to get not safe for work. Let's see what national... Oh, my goodness. Whoa, hey, whoa. Okay, I'm not clicking that one again. Yeah. Oh, my. I really didn't think the very first thing I'd see was going to be something like that. So, yeah. So, apparently today is National Horny Day. I didn't know there was such a thing. There seems like there's a day for everything. By the way, that picture was me. I just want to let you know right now that was me. I was the first. I was the first tweet right there. Exactly, Nailbender. What the actual beep? This is why. This is why. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because holy crap, Twitter is a cesspool. So that was, what did I expect? Yeah, right, Kevin. My bad. I take full responsibility, but I really was just going to click and just look at the first page of tweets. That's all I was going to do. I wasn't expecting the very first tweet to be that. So, yeah. All right, that was awesome. This is live. I love it. Love it. All right. What else is trending? We got something Anglo-Saxon. Why is Anglo-Saxon trending? American First Caucus is recruiting lawmakers, calling for common respect for uniquely Anglo-Saxon political traditions and a return to architectural... Hey, what happened? That was weird. There we go. And a return to an architectural style that befits the progeny of European architecture. Yeah. So, using weird terms like Anglo-Saxon can have an unintended effect, right? It makes you you're probably not, but it makes you sound like a white supremacist. It just kind of does. So... Nailbender, yes. Yes, only on Twitter. Well, and again, it depends on who you follow. So if you're going to go through the trending stuff, yes, you might see some buttholes. You might see some really awful stuff that will make you, really question why humanity exists at this point. I'm just going to put that out there. It does. It really makes you feel like, wow, how did we get this far? I don't know. Yeah, and that's a good point, Joseph. So there are people getting knocked off of Twitter all the time. So you've got, and I don't care about your politics on this one because I'm just going to tell it to you straight. So if you know who James O'Keefe is, he has a company called Project Veritas. It's basically citizen journalism. That's basically what it is. They go around, they wear hidden cameras, and they go talk to people and get, the skinny on what people really think or what they're really doing behind the scenes. And they've targeted like CNN, and they've targeted, a bunch of different businesses and a bunch of other, hot topics of the moment, if you will. And to be quite honest, about 90% of what they do is kind of fluff and overrated. Like James O'Keefe will tweet out like, "You're not going to want to miss this unedited footage of blah, 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 blah," whatever it is. And then when you go look at the video and you're like, what's the problem? So they're having a conversation, and where's the big kaboom? Where's the big kaboom? And so that's about 90% of James O'Keefe's stuff and Project Veritas. But occasionally he comes out with some stuff like, holy crap, did you see what that guy just said? Or holy crap, did you hear about this one? Or whatever. So anyway, so he does citizen journalism, and he does a lot of gotcha stuff, whatever. He's been banned from Twitter for doing journalism. What is wrong with doing journalism? Oh, it's doing journalism the preferred way. I get it. I get it. If you do journalism your own way, you get banned. That's got to be it, right? Right? Anyhow. Nailbender, what do you got to say? It's like I said when I was on Twitter is where you go to lose respect for half of humanity. Parler or Parlay is where you go to lose respect for the other half. And Facebook is where you go to lose respect for people you have known your entire life. Yeah, that's sort of true. Parlay. So let's hang out on this one for a minute. Parlay is this is actually a good discussion. Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Parlay is essentially, it's attracted the wrong type of people. Let's put it that way. They had good intentions. They wanted a platform that was free of all the regulation and restriction that Twitter puts on everybody. And when that happens, you're going to get crazies. You're going to get crazy. There's just no way around it. And so, I mean, yeah. So there it is. And that's kind of what hurt Parlay. It was starting before they got deplatformed by Apple and Amazon. It was actually starting to be a little bit respectful. It was actually kind of cool because I had an account over there, and I was like, well, I'm actually finding better topics to read about and talk about and chat about than I am on Twitter. And then all of a sudden, Amazon's like, screw you, we're deplatforming you. By the way, in breach of their contract. I've seen multiple pieces on this where Amazon totally breached their contract. But they're Amazon. They can do whatever the hell they want. So, and yeah, Facebook, on the other hand, it's where you go to lose respect for people you've known your entire life. Yeah, so back in 2015, when Trump announced his candidacy, I immediately started railing against him. Okay, I'm getting a little political. I didn't mean to, but I started railing against him. I was not a Trump. I never liked Trump. Never liked him as a personality, as a celebrity, any of that. I couldn't stand the guy. People adored him, and I couldn't understand why. I had friends that completely adored him. Like, oh, The Apprentice is so great. Well, I'm like, yeah, okay, the show itself is kind of cool, but every time he was on the screen, I was like, oh, get this guy off the screen. He's such a douche. And so he's ran or announces his that he was running, and I started kind of going off of it on Facebook. And I had a lot of friends over there, a lot of, I don't know, like 500 people that I was friends with on Facebook. And that's when people started coming out of the woodwork and going out and becoming fans of Trump and supporting Trump. And I was like, what's going on? And then I started getting backlash for not supporting Trump. I mean, like vicious backlash, that, like I was some sort of traitor or something. And then it was, I was getting piled on the left as well, simply because I was slightly a conservative. And so all these people that I had known for a long time, like you mentioned in your comment there, Nail, these people I've known for a long time, all of a sudden I'm like, I don't think I ever really knew these people, because some of these people are just awful. So what I did is I basically, you know what? I turned off my Facebook account, completely turned it off for about 2 weeks. And decompress. I stepped away from politics, all that stuff, and decompress, because I was in too deep. I was having way too much of it. And then I came back on and explained why I left. and then immediately removed a ton of friends from Facebook. And it wasn't because I would disagreed with them, but it was because of how they treated me and didn't treat me with respect for my my dissenting view. So yeah, and then I decided Facebook is just personal now. These are the people that are friends with on Facebook. I actually know in real life, and these aren't like, middle school friend that I haven't seen in 30 years, or or longer than 30 years. Holy crap! Anyways, or elementary school kid or teacher I had in high school. Although I do have one teacher I follow from high school, and yeah, so it became a personal thing, and I moved all my political speech, and discussions and interactions over to Twitter, and that was the best thing I could have ever done, because now I could actually, be over on Facebook and be free of it, because the people that I'm friends with on Facebook don't get political on Facebook and that sort of thing. So it's so nice. It's a great way to separate things, um, uh, and so yeah. So I did, Nail, to your point, I did lose some respect for people that I've known for a long time. Sai says there's rarely ever any civil conversation about these things anywhere. Truth be told, it's much worse in person. Really, I've not experienced the much worse in person part myself, but that's probably because I'm a little bit of I'm not an alpha per se, but I tend to be that person when in person that people like to talk to, and I don't know why. It's not I'm not going out for it, but and so as a result, I tend to kind of, you know try to keep myself as even keel as possible, and then whoever I'm talking to seems to kind of do the same. Now, occasionally I will get riled up and I'll get called out for it, but I've never had like a really like awful nasty interaction in person. The worst interactions I've ever had are on Facebook and Twitter, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, these are people that have said they're going to murder my family, things like that. So um, and it really is the onus of why I do this show, is because on Twitter it's not, and the reason why I even separate them is because on Twitter it's so much more easy to be anonymous and just say whatever you want, spout off whatever you want, whatever, and there's no repercussions. Who cares, right? You're just yelling at an avatar, whatever. On Facebook, it's a little bit more personal, unless you create a fake account, which I'm sure they're out there, but I'm not friends with them. So yeah, Twitter's much more vile than in person. Nope, nope, that's not the case. There's some, but it's all over the map. My family and my wife's. Okay, now my wife's family. My wife's family is Hispanic. Her father's side is her father came from Cuba. Her father and her uncle were from Cuba. And her mom's family is mostly from Nicaragua. And they are almost all, except for a few, almost all of them are extremely conservative. Extremely conservative. Because they lived under really bad oppression. They lived under really bad oppression under Castro and under socialist regimes like in Nicaragua and in Cuba. So they came out of there going, yeah, that sucked. I'm a conservative. I'm with the government all my life. On my mom's side of the family, it is a mix. There are, a lot of conservatives, but also a lot of people on the left. Most people in the middle. And then on my dad's side of the family, which is really interesting because my dad was from Glasgow, Scotland. And so I've never met any of my relatives over there except for my cousin. But I've never met any of my relatives over in Scotland. And I have a couple of cousins that live in the south of England. But I've never met them personally, but by and large, they're all very much to the left. So it's going to be interesting when I go to visit. I'm really interested in going to visit. So they'll probably hate me or they'll love me because I'm from Texas. For some reason, people in Scotland love Texans. I don't know what it is. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on. This is a good discussion, guys. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. So here's so one thing I did notice on trending. Every time I've done this, especially on Fridays, it seems like less on the week during the week. But I'll come in here and I'll be flipping around and almost always there's some sort of K-pop thing trending. They need to fix their algorithm and just filter that crap out. That's what I'm saying. Anybody here for that? Anybody here like K-pop? Bueller? I need to do that latency thing with the chat. So actor Helen McCrory has died of cancer. So who is Helen McCrory? I'm a movie buff and I'm not. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, that sucks. 52. 52. Oh, that's really sad. Can't believe she was 52, though. That's amazing. Wow. So you do like the K-pop and the J-pop side? Is that what you're saying? So that's kind of sucky news. Oh, yeah, speaking of sucky news. So in the middle of the Impartial Geek stream today, my boys walk into the office and say, hey, there's a fire truck out front. In front of our house? Yeah. I was like, oh, great. So I walk out there. Sure enough, there's a big old fire truck. Lights are going. And right, in the house next door to us, there's an ambulance. And then there's like 3 cop cars. And like, what the hell's going on? So I waited, tried to figure out what was going on. I couldn't get anything. Come to find out, my neighbor, it's an elderly couple, and the man had a fatal heart attack. So if you're a praying kind of person, that is a family that needs prayers right now. They just lost their patriarch. So yeah, so sorry to bring it down a notch, but I wanted to share that because it was on my mind. So I agree with you, Sai. We can just say frack cancer. And you have listened to K-pop and J-pop. Oh boy. We're going to have a talk, just like you wanted to talk with Joseph earlier. So we're going to have a talk about real music. So, okay, moving on. We're talking video games. That's interesting. Ex-Nintendo designer Takeya Imamura says F-Zero is not dead. It's just hard to bring back without a grand idea. I never played that game. I did play characters from that game on Super Smash Brothers, but never really played that game. And I'm an old school gamer, so that's kind of weird. The Overwatch League kicks off its 4th season. Who here plays Overwatch? Anybody? And I could never get into Twitch games, and I don't mean like Twitch the platform. I mean like Twitch games, like like super fast Twitch games. I'm more of a tactical kind of gamer. I like games like Battlefield and not Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is not tactical. It's a Twitch game. I don't care who you are, what you think you know about these games. Call of Duty is not a tactical game. It is a Twitch game. It is, and I don't like it. I just don't like those games. So NFL is trending. Who cares? SpaceX again. So actually, I'm going to actually pull up this article. I'm very interested. I'm not sharing my entire window. I'm just sharing the Twitter page, but I want to read this out loud and get some more information. The company beat out Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, and Dynetics, a defense contractor. NASA on Friday selected Elon Musk's SpaceX to build spacecraft that would land astronauts on the moon for the first time since the last Apollo mission. Even video games, that's right. The award to SpaceX for the human landing system was a stunning announcement that marked another major victory for the hard-charging company that vaults it to the top tier of the nation's aerospace companies and solidifies it as one of the space agency's most trusted partners. So yeah, I find this very interesting. That, NASA was kind of always the one that did the stuff, and they did contracting obviously, but they're kind of the one that kind of ran the game. I think what's going to end up happening here is that NASA, it's just going to be the vehicle through which SpaceX starts running the game. In winning the $2.9 billion contract, SpaceX beat out Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, which had formed what it called a national team by partnering with this is why they won. By partnering with aerospace giants Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, blah, 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 that's a mouthful, and Draper. SpaceX also won over Dynetics, a defense contractor based in Huntsville, Alabama. And then in parentheses, Bezos owns the Washington Post. I guess they have to do that. But I find it interesting that Jeff Bezos, his organization was really just a conglomerate of Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Draper, which are basically groups that already have contracts with NASA, I'm sure. So yeah, they're kind of the same old. They're the old guard, and that's why SpaceX won, because they're being innovative. So NASA had originally chosen all three companies for the initial phase of the contract and was expected to choose two of them to build the lunar lander. In other major programs, NASA has chosen multiple providers to foster competition and to ensure it has redundancy in case one can't deliver. So that's pretty interesting. They chose only one, and it was SpaceX. In a document explaining NASA's rationale for picking SpaceX, obtained by the Washington Post, NASA said it wanted to preserve a competitive environment at this state of the HLS program, but it added that NASA's current fiscal year budget did not support even a single contract award. As a result, SpaceX updated its payment schedule so that it now fits within NASA's current budget. Brilliant. So basically, SpaceX used capitalism and won the contract as a result. Bravo. That's freaking awesome. All right. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. All right. So yeah, Sai, I did. I'm gonna go back to this criticizing even video games. Yes, I've got some major criticisms about video games, but it's really because I'm it's very subjective, right? So video games are about what do you like, right? And a lot of times I don't like a lot of the popular games. That's just me. Fortnite, I don't get Fortnite. I think it's a dumb game. I just flat out, I think it's dumb. I think it's made for kids with ADHD, to be quite honest. And I liked some of the other shooters that came before. Even the more twitchy type of games, like Quake is a good example of that, especially like Quake 2 and 3. Really enjoyed those games. But again, they were a little too twitchy for me. I like real-time strategy games. I like a lot of different kinds of games. But man, some of the games that are out now that are real popular, ugh. Oh, I love Minecraft. I love Minecraft. Minecraft is so relaxing. Sometimes I'll just open it up, start a new map, and I'll play for a couple hours straight. Just because it's so relaxing. And my kids play it all the time, but they're like really into it. They do like the servers and stuff. I don't play online. I'm not interested in playing online. But the single player experience and like just going in and building stuff, and it's awesome. I freaking love Minecraft. So, oh my god. Oh my god. Am I not supposed to like Minecraft? I like Minecraft. So Sai, do you not like Minecraft? Is that what I'm hearing? So Chris likes Minecraft. Ah, that's why. All right. Understood. All right, where was I? I think I was just talking about video games. Oh yeah, SpaceX. Um, Da Baby. The hell is this? Da Baby. Oh, all right. We're going to skip that. Not interested. After the Utah's Jazz's Jonathan Mitchell is injured during the team's matchup against the Pacers, some fans are expressing frustration with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver for designing a packed game schedule. It's always somebody else's fault, huh? Oh, Nailbender doesn't like Minecraft. Well, I guess I'll stop playing then. Oh, yeah. Yeah, check this out. A couple hours ago, Raul Castro says he will resign as head of Cuba's Communist Party, ending the era of formal leadership by the Castro brothers that began in 1959. Wow, so what does that mean for Cuba? That's really interesting. Oh my gosh, let's see. Raul Castro said Friday he's resigning as head of Cuba's Communist Party. The 89-year-old Castro made the announcement in a speech at the opening of the 8th Congress of the ruling party, the only one allowed on the island. Duh. Communism, so great that you can only have one party. He said he was retiring with the sense of having fulfilled his mission and confident in the future of the fatherland. Oh boy. I love it when they use language like that. Nothing is forcing me to make this decision, said Castro, part of whose speech to the closed Congress was aired on state television. As long as I live, I will be ready with my foot in the stirrup to defend the homeland, the revolution and socialism with more force than ever. Wow. Castro didn't say who he would endorse as a successor, but he previously indicated that he favors yielding control to the 60-year-old Miguel Diaz-Canel, who succeeded him as president in 2018 and is the standard bearer of a younger generation of loyalists who have been pushing an economic opening without touching Cuba's one-party system. Yeah. So this is actually an interesting point. So this younger generation of loyalists who want to push for an economic system that doesn't, infringe on the current one-party system. It's kind of what happened in Russia. If you want to be honest about it, it's kind of why the communism fell in Russia. So, yeah, so that's what's going to happen there. Hopefully, I want the people in Cuba to thrive. I want them to thrive. They are great people. All the Cubans I've ever known, including my father-in-law, who I didn't get to know very long. He passed away a long time ago, and his brother, and my mother dated a Cuban man. All the Cubans I've known are amazing people, and they deserve so much more from from their leadership, from their country, from their government. And it breaks my heart that they've had to deal with this for, 1959. Holy moly! That's 62 years. 62 years of that crap. I can't believe it hasn't fallen yet. Okay, but that's good news. That's good news. So a little bit of instability in Cuba. Bring it on. Yep. Indoctrination. Yep. And frack the Castros. Boom. I'm with you on that. Yeah, who the hell will take power? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? It might be a good opportunity to do a little psyops. Just saying. Just saying. That's a big story. Why is it number 15 on the trending? It should be like way further up. Instead, K-pop is trending way further up. So I hate this planet sometimes. 8 killed and multiple injured. Oh, so this, yeah, I haven't had a chance to go look at what this story is all about. Apparently somebody yesterday went in to a FedEx facility and killed a bunch of people and then killed himself. I'd really like to know more about that story, and might be something I cover on my Monday show, because these things are very near and dear to my heart, because not because I've been in an active shooter situation, but because of the wrongheadedness that you know this creates, that these sort of things create when they happen. And I enjoy talking about it because I think it's very important that we don't lose ourselves when talking about these issues. So I'll be talking about this one on Monday. And so a local guy in New York. Here's the thing, and I love this about New York, and I hate it at the same time. You know, this guy, he was a longtime president of the Carnegie Corporation and former president of the New York Public Library. That's a trending item on a national scale. Why? Because it's New York. That's why. Go look at ESPN. This is I love doing this because it rankles me and it makes me laugh at the same time. Go look at ESPN. Go to their MLB section. And then once you get past like the first bit of the pages on the ESPN section, then you get started on like the individual team stories, right? I kid you not. It is a 10-to-1 ratio of New York Yankees to any other team that gets coverage on ESPN. Because it's New York. That it's funny and it rankles me at the same time. Oh, I know it's about money, but it's unbelievably just. And people say there isn't bias in the media. Yeah, there is. Yes, there is. It's blatant as all get out. Yeah, sorry about the Cuba story. Yep, exactly. I agree with you. Let's see what else is trending. What's Prism? Am I gonna get a dick pic if I click this? Let's see. Nope, I didn't. That's crazy and talented dad. Prism has been very consistent. Good English. With the updates day and night. What is Prism? I'm not a Prism AIO. You can go straight to hell. That's not true, by the way. They're not the best. Prism AIO. I don't know what Prism AIO is. Some sort of software company. Oh, they're an automation software company. Okay, so why would that be trending? Did they just go public or something? And how can they be out of... I am so confused. Sorry, I'm reading up on this website and... So they look like a software company, but they're out of stock? Okay. Okay, I'm boring everybody with this, but I'm gonna have to dig more into this. Why Prism AIO has been trending. We go back to the original tweet. We'll be selecting 5 people to purchase Prism AIO for retail. So checkout automation software is what it is. Very interesting. Okay, on why that would trend. Oh, because they're giving away stuff. That's why. I hate that crap. That should be another thing that shouldn't make it past the algorithm. Yeah. Ontario is trending. Why is Ontario trending? Let's not forget the lessons of the Walkerton inquiry by Justice O'Connor. Unfortunately for Ontario, this is Canadian politics. I know nothing about Canadian politics, and I am going to fall asleep if I try. Here's some Japanese politics. I know nothing about Japanese politics. I'm going to skip that. Lentz Park. Police officers were involved in ensuring near Lentz Park, closing nearby streets in southeast Portland. Can I just say something? I know there's a lot of people that live in and around the Portland area. What is wrong with that town? There's something wrong with that town. There's like something in the water that is causing people to lose their freaking minds in that town. And it's not just, and I'm not attacking any one particular type of person or political. I'm saying the entire town is going absolutely crazy, just bonkers. Ever since beginning of last year, even before the pandemic, they were starting to go crazy. So it's can't really blame the pandemic on the craziness that goes on in Portland. Um, so this is why. So I had a discussion with my kids. Oh, it's weird, all right. Yeah. Sai says keep Portland weird. It's weird, all right, in not a good way. Austin, Texas is weird, but it's kind of weird in a good way. There's some bad stuff that goes on in Austin too, but it's not to the level of Portland. But going on to this, so breaking. Police shot and killed a white man. However, angry protesters have gathered. Anecdotal reports from other tweeters that the protest group is growing larger. So, I had to have a discussion with my boys this was it last night? It was last night about the George Floyd case, about the trial that's going on. And I don't even remember how it came up, but one of my sons says, "Oh, well, I can't wait for that cop to, go to jail and I hope he gets a death penalty." And I was like, "Why? What did he do?" I know what happened. I know the story, but I wanted to see what my son thought about it. Oh, he kneeled on that guy. I said, "Uh-huh. Yeah, he kneeled on his neck. Yeah." What did George Floyd die of? Oh, he kneeled. He couldn't breathe. Okay. So George Floyd actually died of cardiac arrest and had high levels of fentanyl in his system. What is that? Does that mean anything to you? No, the guy still murdered him. Did he? Yeah. I've seen other cops do exactly what Derek Chauvin did. Now, I'm not saying this guy's innocent at all. But the point I was trying to make, I was playing devil's advocate basically. The point I was trying to make is that we are far too trigger happy as a society in America specifically. I'm not sure how it is across the pond there, Kevin. But we're so trigger happy with rushing to judgment. And there's a reason why we have our system in place, and it's to find the truth and to serve justice. And this story right here is a perfect example of that. Or the story the other day with the young man. I can't remember where it was now, but the young man who got unfortunately was killed. People just immediately assumed that it was about white supremacy or it was about white this or police targeting black man, that sort of thing, without ever knowing any details at all. They heard it on social media, so now they're outraged. That is dangerous, and I don't mean dangerous. Yes, it's dangerous to the police officers for sure. Dangerous to all the people involved, absolutely. But dangerous to our society that we rush to judgment on every little news story without ever once considering maybe what I'm hearing isn't real. Right? And this runs both ways, by the way. This is not just a one-sided issue. This runs both ways. I've seen people on the right say, if there was a bombing of some sort or a bomb went off or something, oh, it must have been a Muslim. What makes you say that? What evidence do you have to say that it was a Muslim terrorist of some sort? Could have been anybody. So yeah, our rush to judgment is dangerous. I rail against it every time I see it. So this is a really good example of that story. Yeah, I haven't watched the entire trial, Kevin. But here's here's where the legal system gets into trouble with these sort of situations. Sometimes you can overcharge somebody. And what I mean by that is you can go after somebody for a much more, a much more egregious crime than what they actually committed. And when all the evidence comes out and shows that, then you're actually hurting the system, because what if, and just hear me out, I'm playing devil's advocate. What if, oh, I'm going to leave this up for a second. Actually, I'll come back to that. But what if it comes out that, the true cause of death was not asphyxiation, it was cardiac arrest brought on by the high levels of fentanyl in the system. They're going after murder charges on Derek Chauvin. At that point, it's no longer murder. Is he responsible? Absolutely. And he should be charged with something. But because they've gone out and they've charged him with murder, and the evidence doesn't show murder, then he's going to walk. And that's not good for anybody. That's bad juju. That is no good. I've seen this happen multiple times in a lot of different cases, not just with cops either, where they've gone after a larger charge only to find the evidence, and the jury go, well, I don't see that that they intentionally meant to murder anybody. So going after murder is, you better be able to prove it 100%. Otherwise, the guy's going to walk. So, and that's not good, because by all accounts, this guy is he wasn't a good guy in the first place. And he's definitely guilty of some sort of crime. Murder, maybe not. Depending, based on the evidence I've seen, murder is kind of a sketchy middle. I don't know. It's very tough to say. So. Yeah, and right, and yeah, Kevin, that's exactly right. Prosecutors do that, but they shouldn't all the time. They shouldn't just automatically go, again, like the whole rush to judgment about other crime. Shouldn't just go automatically. Let's go for the stiffest thing possible, and then they lose their case, and now a murderer or somebody who's done wrong walks free. You can't be charged for the same crime. So you can't be tried for the same crime twice. There's a thing called double jeopardy. So you've overshot. So that's why I don't understand. I get it. No, I do understand. Especially on high profile cases, man, they want to nail that person to the wall hardcore, because, oh my God, their resume is going to be badass. I'm the lawyer that took down Derek Chauvin. That's what it's really about. It's not about justice. It's really about what those lawyers want to do and how it's going to look for them. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, Kevin, the reason for this statement here. Would you like to guess why? Go ahead, guess why. We're mostly white here. I know, right? Crazy. I bet almost like 100% of IRA attacks have been white people. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Imagine that. So, I said almost 100%, so don't come after me on that. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I need to put together a checklist. I need to be a good content creator. I was going to have some background music, and right now I can't even find my playlist. Why not? I'm gonna put some background music on for the remainder of the show. I'm not gonna hang out for too much longer, but here it is. But here we go. So I picked so I use Epidemic Sound. I'm not affiliate or anything, but if you're interested in bringing on some really cool music, Epidemic Sound is pretty cool. They've got all sorts of genres, and best of all, it's royalty free, so I can use it on my streams. Although on one of my streams got struck because of some of the music I was playing. I'm like, well, it's Epidemic Sound, so what? So anyway, so hopefully I don't get struck for this. I don't know how much louder that is in my voice, but I'm just going to play it in the background. Should I dance it out? No? Okay. I won't dance it out. What else we got? Something about the Sikhs is trending. Why Sikhs? My heart goes out to all the Sikh communities. This is so cruel and sad. What's going on? It's a tragedy for the Sikh community. Please join us tonight. What? Why is the FedEx shooting a Sikh thing specifically? Good to know. Thanks, Kevin. Oh, okay. Now I understand. So the facility that this gunman attacked, the 90% Sikh employees. Okay. I've got a friend who's a Sikh. She's really, really cool. Okay, yeah. Now I understand. That makes sense. Again, I'm gonna do some digging in on this, and I'm gonna talk about it on my Monday show. I'm gonna talk about the spat of, or spate. Spate? Is it spate? Is the word spate? Where's Joseph? He speaks this King's English crap. The spate of mass shootings that have occurred over the last couple of weeks. These things always happen in bunches, and I have some thoughts on that. So we'll talk about that Monday. And Angel Olsen and Oath Keepers. Blah. A lot of political stuff. See what's going on in the news. We've already talked about some of this stuff. Okay, so I try to avoid the COVID-19, but a double mutant variant of the COVID-19 virus is found in India as a cause of growing concern. The variant, named B1617, has been found in more than 60% of the sequence samples from Maharashtra, I cannot pronounce that, and also detected in 9 other states of the country. The government has said higher transmissibility of this variant has not been established yet. The United Kingdom is the latest country to have discovered the double mutation with variant in its region. So much of this is scare tactics. A lot of it, yeah, it's just, no, I agree, India is a mess right now. But a lot of these types of stories are just 100% clickbait stories with these variants. I haven't looked at the numbers recently, Kevin. I know they're bad, but these, because we've been hearing about variants from the beginning of the pandemic, from the very beginning. Like back in 2019, we were hearing about variants when this thing was even just getting started. So that's what a virus does. It mutates. This isn't news. This is not new. Now, if they do a study and they say, well, the COVID vaccine we've all taken doesn't do anything to this virus, okay, now let's have a discussion. But all of this is just clickbait, basically. So, yeah, India is a hot mess. India is a hot mess, and boy, they really need some help. What else we got here? Mystery animal sighting in Krakow ends up being a croissant. Okay, I'm opening this one. When animal welfare officers in the Polish city of Krakow were called out to a sighting of an unusual animal squatting in a residential area, their initial reaction was, this must be an April Fool's joke. Okay, I'm going to read this one to y'all. This is funny. I love weird stuff like this. Can Can you... no, I'm going to agree and close. All right. When a woman with desperation in her voice called them to say the creature had been sitting in a tree across the road for 2 days. Everyone is scared of him, she told the authority, begging them to come and investigate. People are opening their windows because they're afraid it will go into their house. But as it turns out, the beast wasn't a bird of prey as the officers hypothesized, but a croissant. This is not a description of an April Fool's joke, such as a report really came to us, the authority wrote in a Facebook post. And then the change languages on me here, so okay. In a lighthearted account of events, the officer who calls himself Inspector Adam describes how the caller insisted the animal was not a large bird, going on to suggest it could be an iguana. A beige iguana. Probably buttery and flaky and tasty iguana. Years of inspection have taught me that there are people willing to get rid of any animal that causes trouble, he wrote, explaining his decision to pay a visit to the scene. Maybe someone threw out an iguana, he mused. I wonder how this creature feels. After 2 nights at minus temperatures, maybe he's sitting in that tree, not moving because he just died. When the officer and his colleague went to the Krakow estate to find out more, after a short search, they spot the brown creature is sitting on a lilac branch, with its brown coat shining in the sun. The poor guy had no legs or head, Adam lamented. Oh my god. I want to do a short about this. This is too funny. He said the pair were almost swept off their feet by a laughing attack when they realized the animal was in fact a flaky pastry. The authorities' jokey post was followed with a more serious message in which they advised the public to always report animal sightings they are concerned about if they are in doubt. It's better to check and be pleasantly disappointed sometimes, unfortunately very rarely laugh, than not react, which can sometimes lead to a tragedy, they wrote. Oh my, a croissant caused a panic in Krakow. Wow. It does. It felt like it was something out there, but it's Euro News. This is apparently a legit news source. Yeah, that was funny. That was good. I'm glad we saw that one. 2.5 billion Tyrannosaurus rexes roam the Earth, a study finds. That's a lot of T-Rexes. Simon & Schuster says it won't distribute book by officer who shot Breonna Taylor. Okay. Free country, dude. Public officials across the U.S. donated to Kyle Rittenhouse's, and I feel bad for our Rittenhouse in the Guild every time I see Kyle Rittenhouse's name. But public officials across the U.S. donated to Kyle Rittenhouse's legal defense fund, the Guardian reports. Yeah, and public officials also donated to people that were burning down houses and people's businesses. And people donate to shit all the time. Racism skews our beliefs about what's economically possible. There's only one class of people that believe that. So. CBS announces major reorganization, blah, blah, blah. All right. I don't think anything's going to top the croissant. Nothing is going to top the croissant. That evil croissant beast in the lilac tree. So they're still restoring Notre Dame, which is way cool and tragic that happened. Yeah, nothing will top that. That is like the story of the week for sure. A conservation biologist dropped some bobcat knowledge. Okay, let's see what's going on in entertainment real quick. I'm gonna skip sports because Kevin is a Yankee fan and we all know Yankees. We got Paul. Why is Paul McCartney trending? Oh, please, please. Why is he trending? Okay. Okay. I was gonna cry. I don't want to see Paul McCartney trending. He's old. I don't want him to die. He needs to live forever. Two tiny terriers chase very large bear out of a California home. Nice. Only in California, right? Oh my goodness, look at that. Apparently there's a video of it somewhere. And I'm getting bombarded with ads when I click on that link. Yeah, there's a video of it. Unfortunately, I can't show it. I'm going to have to set up a video overlay. I don't have one. Okay. I mean, I could set it up, but it would just take me too long, and I don't have that kind of time. Speaking of time, it is about time to wrap this up. Absolutely about time to wrap this up. Okay, well, guys, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I know, Cy, you were probably working on the side and probably just listening in. Appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you staying up with me, Kevin, and putting up with me. I'm a little what did you call me, Cy? Verbose as fuck. I'm verbose AF. I'm still waiting on that T-shirt, by the way. Yeah, but you were working too. I know how you are, Cy. But again, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate everybody coming and joining me today. I'm still on Buy Me a Coffee. I've got, if you look at the challenge today, one of the things to talk about in my goals is for my Wednesday shows, for the interviews, for me to get 6 really big players on the show and interview them. My other goal is at the end of the year to be able to upgrade this camera, which is really my wife's camera, to an A6100 and A6400. So I'm saving some money on the side for that, and anything I can, any support I can get will help go a long way towards that. And also, don't forget to shoot me some feedback directly to me if you'd like, or on the guild. Excuse me. Boy, goodness gracious. Beyond 280, all spelled out, at gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, beyond_280. I will follow back. And again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I'm losing my voice, apparently. Can you hear me squeaking? I'm squeaking. I don't like squeaking. That's not, I haven't squeaked since I was like 16 or 15. So yeah, no squeaking. So yes, nothing will top the croissant story. I'm gonna have to. Hey, that's not what I clicked. There we go. Nothing will top that wild croissant story. Yes, agreed. I might have to clip that one because that was too funny. That was way too funny. Anything else for any other cleanup items I have? I don't think so. So I will be back online on Monday with A Little to the Right, where I'm going to talk about some of the things I talked about today, specifically the spate of mass shootings going on in our country. Again, I'm going to look at it from a Twitter perspective. So I'm gonna dig through some Twitter comments and Twitter posts about what's been going on and break it down for you. That'll be my main topic of discussion. I'll probably talk about some other things, but would love to have you on Monday. And please, definitely, Kevin, hey, come join me, even if you're on the left, and Cy, I know you're a little bit to the left, a little to the left, a little to the right. I need to make a song. A little to the left, a little to the right, or a little to the left, a little to the right. Yeah, because you look that way. Okay. Anyway, I need to make a song about that. But please, please, please come and join me on Monday. And again on Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you who I'm bringing yet because I like to keep it a surprise. So it's probably somebody you know. Yeah, so everybody have a great night. Have a great Friday. I'm going to go hang out with my family for a bit, but maybe see you on the guild later. Peace out.